And we're ready with the news. In our first story, Land and Natural Resources Minister Kweku Asomachreme has ordered the shutdown of the Ghana Manganese Company Limited until further notice. The closure, which takes effect from today, August 6, according to the minister, follows the company's failure to fulfill its financial obligations, which has resulted in the loss of revenue to the state, estimated at over $300 million. The Ghana Manganese Company Limited in January this year was directed to halt its mining operations to enable the state to undertake a thorough financial audit of its operations. The minister, at a news conference in Accra, stated that beside the findings of the audit report, there was also evidence of a lack of compliance and circumvention of some regulations governing the company.
Additional royalty taxes due $12.8 million. Additional corporate taxes due $79 million. Loss of dividends declared $6.1 million. Additional revenue residing offshore for period 2010 to 2017. No transfer pricing audit performed prior to 2017. $259 million. The audit has also noted major infrastructural deficiencies as a result of JMCL operations. Primarily, road and rail infrastructures are stretched beyond capacity and are close to complete failure. These and several other infractions leave me no option as the sector minister than to close down the operations of GMCL until further notice. The company is therefore instructed to stop all mining, exploration, and export of minerals effective 6 August 2019. That is from tomorrow. The ministry, together with the Minerals Commission and other relevant stakeholders, will immediately commence discussions with Ghana Manganese to resolve these and all other outstanding issues in the course of the shutdown.
Now let's take you to the Upper West region, and health authorities in the Jurapa municipality are warning of an epidemic if the municipal assembly fails to acquire land for use as public cemetery. The Jurapa municipality is without a public cemetery, and residents in various communities bordering the municipality and in the municipality are burying the dead in areas close to their water sources. Municipal Director of the Ghana Health Service, Florence Asongmeni, is worried boreholes drilled in the communities could have water contaminated by remnants of dead bodies. She was speaking at a Meet the Press series in Jurapa, and it's from where Rafik Salam reports.
The Meet the Press encounter organized by the Jurapa Municipal Assembly is the second out of 11 outlined for municipal and district assemblies by the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council to explain to the people various policies, programs rolled out by the government, and interventions pursued by the Jurapa Municipal Assembly to improve the lives of the people. Issues that came to the fore included education, health, agriculture, security, and entrepreneurship. Heads of decentralized departments also took their turns to respond to questions in relation to their respective areas. Jurapa Municipal Chief Executive Christine Bombanya Amadou expressed concern over the lack of a cemetery for the municipality, which has forced residents to bury the dead in their compounds.
They do indiscriminate barrier because of the absence of what? The cemetery. And so, as a municipality, we are still appealing to the landlords and the chiefs. Like I said, we are ever prepared to acquire a land to be used for that. But no one is ready to release the land. And once it's a family land, he doesn't care burying his relative on it.
Jurapa Municipal Health Director of the Ghana Health Service, Florence Ansongmane, warns of a looming epidemic should the situation fail to change.
The people are burying the compounds, and some we know are communicable diseases. Depending on how the bodies are handled and buried, it will affect them. And just recently, a week ago, they went to drill boreholes somewhere and they had bones coming out of the the dugout, the borehole, and it meant that it was on a grave, and that water definitely is not wholesome. If people should take it, it's definitely going to affect their health.
Another issue which was of concern was the lack of ambulance for the region, as all 9 ambulances in the region are grounded and patients are being carried to health facilities on private cars and tricycles. This, the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Sali, said plans are afoot to fixing them.
It is sad that all the 9 ambulances that we have, government-owned ambulances, are all grounded. However, yesterday I contacted the Chief Executive of the Ghana Ambulance Services, Professor Nuhu Ahmed Zakaria, and he assured me that within this month they will try as much as possible to revive 4 of the ambulances.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam, Jiruba.
I also remain in the region, and over 100 communities that share border with Burkina Faso and the Ivory Coast, but only 2 have a border post, and that's the situation there. The rest are unapproved routes expected to be manned by the various patrol units of the Ghana Immigration Service. Now, considering the nature of the country's borders in the wake of suspected threats of terrorist attacks, correspondent Rafiq Salam again takes a closer look at the northwestern side of Ghana's borders with Burkina Faso and the Ivory Coast, and it's part of a series on porous borders.
The Upper West region is one of the 16 regions of Ghana. It is located at the northwestern corner of Ghana, bounded to Burkina Faso to the north and Ivory Coast to the southwest. It covers a geographical area of 18,476 square kilometers, representing 12.7% of the total land area of Ghana. Until the creation of 6 other regions, it used to be the 7th largest region and made up of 11 municipalities and districts. The region has a projected population of 1 million people. By virtue of its location, the Upper West region has the potential for international and inter-regional trade and other bilateral relations, but the overspill of criminal activities and disaster such as bushfires, diseases and pestilence, armed robbery from the region's neighbors also pose a threat. There is even a more serious issue on hand now: the attacks on churches in Burkina Faso by suspected terrorists raise the alarm bells in the region. Kweku Bawane is a career diplomat and former external intelligence operative stationed in the Middle East. He was one of 4 Ghanaian external intelligence operatives embedded in Lebanon in 1972 to study or cover the problems of terrorism. He painted a mental picture of the porous nature of the country's borders in the northwestern end of the country.
Our border runs around almost about 200 miles, where you have to pick it from the Tumu area and come all the way to Hamele. Then from Hamele, you come southwest along the Black Volta, okay, all the way down to Taliawodo and all the way down there. And I'm saying that if I get 1,000 people and take them to any of those borders, all the 1,000 can actually go across and, each one find a route to get into, Burkina Faso. I'm also saying that the delineation, of the border has not been well done. Nobody actually knows where the latitudes and longitudes belong. Nobody can actually pinpoint where Ghana ends and where Burkina Faso takes over. Then also along the borders, especially to the northern portion, okay, you are going to have people crossing over to their farms. Farmers have their farms across the border. Those in Ghana have their farms in Burkina. Those in Burkina have their farms in Ghana. They go across for funerals, they go for weddings, they go to the market. So you see, there's a fluid nature of cross-border activity.
There was fear and panic in the region following the arrest of a 51-year-old Burkinabe gunman during the church service at Hamele a couple of months ago. The arrest of Desiree Biligo and subsequent arrest of another Burkinabe gunman in Hambele has raised serious questions about the preparedness of the country's security, considering the porous nature of the country's borders, especially the Upper West region. Apart from the two official borders, at Tumu and Hambele, there are over 100 communities located close to the Black Volta that are without borders. Residents and other travelers use these unapproved routes either on foot during the dry season and boats during the peak rainy season. Chief Superintendent Abdullahi Zakaria is the Deputy Upper Commander of the Ghana Immigration Service.
The unapproved routes are entry points that are unofficial, though unofficial, but are being patrolled by our special unit called the Border Patrol Unit. So in that case, we wouldn't say that our borders are porous, and we deploy officers based on intelligence.
Outgoing General Officer commanding the Northern Command, Brigadier General Francis Ofori, conceded that the country's borders are porous, but pointed out that plans are afoot to fixing them through monitoring.
When you go to some of the places, I won't tell you. I will not tell you. We have noticed that some places where, there are no immigration or custom personnel there to be able to man the place. But we have noticed a lot of those, and we are beginning to seal them. Sealing them in the sense of monitoring, keeping an eye over some of these things. So that what goes in and comes out.
Now we have to take you down south to the central region. And as part of our Safe Water project, we take you to Trifo and Kirkrum in the Trifo Himang Lower Dintra district, where the community's only source of water is stagnant. The onset of the rain signifies an abundance of water for the community, but the same rain also washes everything, including chemicals used in spraying cocoa, into the only water source they have. Richard Kojonyako traveled to the community and has more in the following report.
55-year-old Amajo scoops water into a bucket from the only water source in the Ankracrom community. The water is dirty with tadpoles and spirogyra and looks brownish as well. All living organisms in this community depend on it.
For
the past 55 years I've been here, this has been the water we use. We get many reactions whenever we drink it, but we have no option. We are pleading with government to come to our aid. Whenever it rains, everything around is washed into this water, making it dangerous for consumption.
The
source of water can best be described as stagnant water. It does not flow and only collects water when it rains. The proximity of the water source to the cocoa farm means many chemicals that are sprayed on the cocoa find their way into it. Openi Kwabnofori described the effect of the continuous use of the water on the community.
We compete with
spirogyra. They grow in the water. Mosquitoes also breed in the water. It is a stagnant water and very unclean.
Stagnant water.
Over 600 community folks here battle with animals and other living organisms for the water. Teresa, another resident, recounts how visitors to the community reject water from them and ask for sachet water instead.
About 3
days ago, some people came here driving in their private car. They asked for water. When I offered them this water, they rejected it, and I told them that that's the only water we have. Getting sachet water to drink in this community is very expensive. A bag costs 10 Ghana cedis. Residents walk eagerly to the water source to fetch the water. Enokofori and some of his colleagues take turns to drink the water.
This, the water that we are talking about, looking at the nature of the water, is very bad. It's stagnant, as I said earlier. It's not moving, so there's a lot of particles in the water. Tadpoles are in when the person sprays. It's also found under the cocoa. So when the farmer sprays the cocoa, there are a lot of chemicals that default into the water. So I think we will plead on NGOs.
Enoch pleads for some intervention because the community is plagued with many diseases as a result of this. The community, predominantly farmers, has poured resources to construct a borehole, but they say their funds are not enough to undertake that project. Openi Kwabnofori says all appeals for support to the assembly and central government have fallen on deaf ears. On this water issue, since 1992, assemblymen, DCs, MPs and other political figures have been here. We've tabled our concerns before them, but they have done nothing. The community has no clean source of drinking water, no electricity, no hot posts, no toilet facilities, rickety mud houses, among others. Poor roads have also made the community inaccessible. Pregnant women have to be carried on motorbikes for close to an hour before they receive some attention at the nearest health facility. Some have died as a result of this. Richard Kwejenyakon, Joy News, Cape Coast.
And before we go, it is estimated that each person on earth requires at least 20 to 50 liters of clean, safe water daily for drinking, cooking, and simply keeping themselves clean. But to the people of Bonya, a farming community under the Techimai North District of the Bono East region, this basic human right is not easily accessible. They currently rely solely on untreated running water for their day-to-day activities. JoyNews and Asabit visit the community and brings us the latest.
As the world dreams of the provision of a safe drinking water for all, residents of Bonya, a farming community under the Techima North District of the Bono East region, rely solely on this source of untreated water for drinking, cooking, and other farming activities. We arrived here at the Mprisi River at about 12:30 p.m. And even though it was drizzling and about to rain, I met this young woman fetching water with a gallon and a basin. They step into the same water, wash in it, fetch from it, and drink from the same water. Please, we do not have any pipe here. It's been our source of drinking water. This is a farming area, and there's no potable water close to this place. Use it for everything. We cook with it and spray our farm produce with it. Though the river looks reddish to the eye, Boniface, also a resident of Bonya, believes the Mprisi River is good for them because it's been their source of drinking water for all their lives.
The reason why I take this river is here, this area is a just farming area, and it just helps us and it protects us, and it's good for us to drink. There's no sickness in this water.
Boniface, however, admits that farming activities along the river could lead to contaminating the river source. He tried explaining how and why the water looks reddish brown.
Because the reason why is that when rain falls, there is bad waters just come. That's why it just make. But for the other side, it doesn't make like that.
So you're okay when you take this one?
Yeah, you're okay.
Then I asked Boniface if he's sure I would not fall sick after taking this water. Listen to his response.
Okay, it can be because always we just take it. But maybe the way you from other area, if you come, you cannot just take it because we are always just here, so every day we just take it.
For this dude called Allah, They drink from River Amprisi because the people do not have a better choice. There is no source of water around this place apart from this one. So it is what we drink, and there is no sickness in it that affects us after drinking. We use it for virtually everything. Though they all told me that there is no sickness in the water, Allah was quick to say yes when I asked if they would be happy to have a borehole which would serve them with a more safer source of drinking water. We need it if they will drill one for us.
It's so like you saw from the stream. This has been the source of drinking water for the people of Bunya. And even though they admit that it looks reddish to the eye, they indicated that it has no health implications on their lives yet. From Bunya, here, under the Techima North District of the Bono East region. My name is Anas Sabit for JoyNews.
Well, that wraps it up for the latest news stories we have right here in the studio. But we'll do the news review next. I'll be joined by Nimwa. And also we have to tell you that this morning we have the Joy Business and Graphic Business breakfast meeting that's taking place this morning. And Mama Vioso Abuaje will be having some great discussions as a curtain raiser before we have that main live feed. In the meantime also, the families of the 3 Takrady missing girls are convening a press conference this morning. We'll be speaking to them and would want to know what this is all about. But of course, we know that Kojo Yankson and the rest of the team, complemented by Ina Talyakwanta back in Takrady, had done some comprehensive work since Saturday. And we'll bring you up to speed with the latest. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.